In this video we are going to create a React app that uses TypeScript. In order for us to be able to develop this locally, we need to download and install Node.js. So go ahead and search for that on Google, as I've done, and click on the download link. And then, depending on which operating system you are using, I'm using Windows, so I'm going to go ahead and click Windows Installer. Now I have downloaded this previously, so I'm going to go to my File Explorer, to my downloads folder, and I'm going to double click on the downloaded Node.js MSI installation file. I'm going to click next. I'm going to accept the default location, click on next, automatically install necessary tools. Yep, I'm happy with that. Click on next and click on install. Click yes onto the prompt that you do get. Once that's finished, click finish. And then what we are going to do is launch the command prompt. So go ahead and launch your command prompt. I'm going to launch it as an administrator. Now one thing I like to do is I like to create my projects in a specific folder. So I'm going to change directory to my C drive. Now this could live in any folder you wish. I prefer to save my projects into the C drive and in a folder called dev. Now in here, as you can see, I've got a folder called testbed, so I'm going to create a new folder and I'm going to call it React. And then I'm going to change directory into this React folder, and then in this folder I'm going to go ahead and create my React project. Now in order for us to do that, we have to type in npx, and we do create -react -app, and give your app a name, so I'll call it my app. And then we are going to use the template switch. My template is going to be, or our template rather, will be using TypeScript. Go ahead and click return. This will then go away and install or scaffold out your project and install all the relevant files that it requires in order for it to compile, which may take a few minutes. Now once that's completed, you have the choice to be able to use any text editor you wish. For our purposes, I'm going to be using Visual Studio Code. I do find that Visual Studio Code is quite nice to work with, and you may already be using this. In any case, once that's done, if you type dir, you can then see there's a new folder in there called my app. And if we change directory into that my app folder, we can see there's a load of other files and folders in there. You've got source, directory, node modules, etc. And everything that's required for this app to run. Now I'm just going to go back a directory again into the React folder, and then I'm going to type in code space period and or dot. I'm going to go ahead and hit return. Once I hit return, that will then launch Visual Studio Code for me, or for us. Once that has launched for you, I'm just going to expand that, and then you can see here these are all our relevant files in order for our application to compile. Now in order for us to test this, let's click on our terminal and then click on new terminal. And once your terminal launches or opens, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cd or change directory into the my app folder, and in there I'm going to type in npm start, and this will then compile our website, our web project, and load that for us in our browser. Now, dependent on obviously which is your default browser, it will launch the relevant browser onto localhost 3000, and our home page or our index page will then load. It may take a bit of time when loading for the first time, as mine is doing at this moment in time, but once that does load, any kind of load or any attempt for it to load thereafter should be quite quick. But there you have it. On the right hand side we have our React app that has successfully loaded. Now we can, for example, if I were to just pop this to the left and that onto the right, we can change that edit to say hi and click Control S, and that will hot reload, or should hot reload rather, on our right hand side. And as you can see, that's updated on the screen. And if we just change that, hit Control S, that will then recompile our app or our browser on the right, and as you can see, that's loaded onto our screen.